Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Founder Wisdom Podcast slash SaaS Sales Podcast because both can be done here. I have my COO Sam here, which has been with us for only a couple months here, yet he's been doing an amazing job, and I wanted to have him here. So, welcome, Sam.
Thank you, Charles. I'm glad to be here, actually.
Cool. All right. Well, let's make this interesting. Tell us about your background, and I'll follow up with some questions after that.
All right. So my background was actually in technology, specifically in development, but I joined the business development field, moving forward with the experience I got from working with multiple companies such as Microsoft and other outsourcing companies who do R&D development, but specifically worked with them in the sales and the business development. Hence, I moved forward in this field and actually provided me with the knowledge to connect in the high-tech world with the business world, because you can't have a good business person without having a good background in high-tech in these days.
Yeah.
This is just a short background about me. So yeah.
And where are you based? Like, tell the audience where you're based.
All right. I'm currently based in Palestine.
How was
West Bank.
how was like growing up in Palestine? Like, let's dive deep in like little Sam. You told me you were like a popular guy in college and everything. Tell us about like your early life and how is it to grow in Palestine?
All right. So in Palestine, okay, so everyone thinks it's a bad country. Actually, yes, it's a bad country. But the thing is, not everyone can actually survive here. There is no people that will help you to grow.
Okay.
You either do it by yourself, or the waves will take you away with it. Like, we have an unemployment rate of over 40% in the West Bank and over 80% in Gaza. So basically, a lot of people are unemployed not because the market is small, but because the people don't work on themselves. They keep throwing everything like we are occupied and all of that, and they find an excuse for everything to not work on them, but to work on themselves. But there is a lot of opportunities that each person can work on themselves and actually grow themselves. Like in early years, when I was at school, I used to work at multiple fields. I used to take a lot of trainings in multiple institutes just to get knowledge and to prepare for college and all of that. I used to work at a factory. I used to be a worker at a factory. I used to work at a bar. I used to do a lot of things, and all of these stuff that actually carved my personality and made me ready to get into the university. Another thing is, when I joined the university, I joined the tech field in computer engineering, computer development. I had multiple degrees in that field because I used to take, a lot of courses and trainings and multiple institutes, and that's gave me a step ahead from my teammates, let's call them classmates. Yeah, peers. So actually, during my university years, I joined a lot of clubs and eventually got to be the leader of those clubs, because the peers I had, they lacked leadership. They were the people that, okay, I'm going to finish school, get in college, and just study and get a degree. They didn't have an open mind. They didn't work on themselves to work, to upgrade themselves. So I kind of jumped ahead, and I actually landed a job in Microsoft while I still didn't get my bachelor's degree. Was at my fourth year at the university. And that's when I started actually giving lectures, providing workshops on Microsoft technologies, even though I was a student at a university. And that was a huge jump.
Yeah.
Back in the university days. This is like just a quick intro about me.
And yeah. How did that Sam come about? Like, did your parents force you? Because, for example, my dad's entrepreneur, so that kind of gave me the guts, to and this is a lot of subconscious stuff. I would listen to him, like, make cold calls and stuff. How did you came to be? Did your parents have to do something in it?
So my parents, actually, my father is a lecturer at a university in Palestine. He does microbiology. So they were actually people who had knowledge and actually were working and have degrees in a lot of things.
Okay.
But eventually, okay, they wanted me to stay at the learning path, to stay at school, to stay
Correct.
at college.
Yeah.
And they are the people that, have this roadmap for me to
Okay.
go into the college and do all of this stuff. But the other stuff I did on the side, that's all me, just, by talking to people, attending events and all of that, growing the mentality, growing the knowledge base I have.
Interesting, because yeah, you have like a distinct personality, a commander personality, which is quite rare, especially at a young age. What always drove you to accomplish more?
Passion, actually. I am always a positive person, and I always believe in positive stuff in the future. I hate the feeling of not being able to do anything, because that's how the world thinks about Palestinians and Palestine. But we can actually do a lot of things in
Yeah.
Palestine. But it all comes down, to the person and how he thinks and how he takes things.
And what's your life's goal? Like, what's your vision in the future? Do you want to do something about Palestine? Do you want to start your own stuff? What kind of impact do you want to have on this world?
Okay, so back in my college, I had the thought of making my own company.
Yeah.
And I did, and I went forward with it, and I made my own company. I got a funding from the US aid for it. I got 50K, and I started my whole company. And then we figured out at a later stage that we had a problem with the business itself.
Okay.
After participating in multiple events and talking to a lot of investors.
Okay.
So we had a problem with the business, but right now I still have the idea of making my own company. But I need a lot of knowledge and not doing the same mistake I did it previously. But I can actually say
What
on
kind of
that
mistakes
thing,
did you make?
okay, so when you get a lot of money, first of all, like 50K, and you are only 5 in the company, and you're living in Palestine, that makes you a king. All right. So we didn't care for the cost a lot. So we were spending, getting new fancy laptops, not caring about the money we're gonna spend, not thinking and having a real and good business plan that actually could make us money. We just had headlines and titles. We didn't go into detail, and we didn't do any research, like detailed research about it. Even though we got the product, it's working and all of that, but it has a problem with the business itself.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Five people, that's a lot. I had to found a startup, like maybe 2 3 that I start having doubts, and yeah, like 50K in Palestine, in Mexico, it's like big money.
Yeah.
And experience pretty much everything, but guess what, like the best way to get experience is to do it. It's the best MBA, right? So what lessons did you learn from that startup? Like you got your MBA, your startup MBA, right? What lessons did you got out of that?
All right. First things, like most important thing I got is never dive deep into anything without having an actual detailed plan about the whole product, the whole thing you're gonna do.
Okay.
The second thing is whenever you get a meeting with an important person, try to take value or to add value in every minute and not waste 1 second with this person, because I wasted a lot of time. Like I wasted a lot of meetings I did with investors and all of that. I could have landed a good fund and more fund for the company, but I wasn't prepared to do those meetings. So that's another thing to add on it. And the last thing is, if you really want to focus on something and make it, happen and actually succeed, you need to put all your time into it and not just work for a couple of hours per day and make it happen. No, you need to work on it, give it all you have, and actually just disconnect from your personal life for a few months until you get everything ready and get the prototype going.
Why didn't you bootstrap this company? Why did you sought some funding here?
All right. As I told you, we wasted we wasted the money on fancy laptops, a fancy office, and we jumped we were level 0 and we jumped to level 7 right at the beginning. That was a waste of financial management, actually. So we lacked money. The second thing is we had a problem with presenting the product in a suitable way for the consumer to buy. So we have this special product called spam tax that stops spam emails from reaching the mailboxes of the consumers, and via a special algorithm actually that no one have ever implemented before. No spam blocker had did this algorithm before. But the thing is, a lot of services that are currently available today in tech, they do spam blocking, but they do spam filtering, aka they open the people's emails to check them and specify them as spam. But our algorithm wasn't actually taking or opening any emails.
Got it. I want you to finish off with two last things, because I know you have a meeting in like 5 minutes. Tell us about the Bitcoin story and tell us about the Topleads story and the plan that you have for Topleads.
All right, so I made a club at the university called ICT Pioneers. All right, I made the club. I assigned myself the president of the club, and I had like 30 students in this club. The crypto and the whole blockchain was still a new technology back in 2013, 2014.
Yeah, very new.
No one would actually know anything about it. Until this Bitcoin came up and people were skeptical about it. And a lot of people didn't actually care about, getting into crypto or buying this Bitcoin. But what I did back in the days is actually I bought Bitcoins just, as the president of this club, I needed, to show that I'm keeping track of new technologies and all of that.
And committed and invested.
And it worked. It worked well for me. And here we are, we're still waiting for the Bitcoin to hit the 100K. And
well, that's a good job. That's definitely a good move, a great investment. But this is funny because it was done for social reasons, but I mean, it was also really smart, because you were invested in what you were saying. One of the first thing like we have at Topleads is do as I do leadership, right? It's not do as I say, it's do as I do. And once you give the example to people, I mean, leading becomes a piece of cake because you're invested, you do it yourself, and then you can convince others and preach the word, right? Tell us a bit more about Topleads, how you came to hear about us, and why you thought you were a good fit, and so forth, and what plan you have for the company as a COO.
Yeah. Also, the Bitcoin had its fall in 2014, 2015. It was 20K, then it fell to 8K. That's when the real magic happens, actually, because a lot of people just cashed out their money and they said, okay, it's a bubble and it has popped. But the thing, if you think about it at that time, it's like, you're dealing with money that no country has control over it. So in 2014, 2015, people have gained a bit of knowledge about the crypto, and the people who stayed are the people who believed in it. I didn't stay at that year because I didn't believe. I would have, just cashed out. I already got some good money from it. I can cash out and get this money, but I stayed because the future is all about technology. And a lot of people want to get rid of the countries that are controlling their currency right now and use this free currency that no one can control.
Will you ever cash out, or you're just gonna hold for a while?
Well, this is the problem, every day, every month, you're getting more money. I used to think I want to cash out at 100K, then at 500K. Then now I'm saying I want to cash out at 1 million. And then I'll probably say I'm gonna cash out at 2 million.
At 100 million, buddy. But will you still be alive at 100 million? That's the question,
Yeah. Exactly. But most people are saying by the end of 2025, the Bitcoin will be $1 million. Imagine,
holy fuck.
Imagine the numbers that will be generated when Bitcoin reaches 1 million.
I'm happy for you, man. That's all I can say. I'm happy for my man. Okay, you've got like 1 minute left for like Topleads. You have a meeting in 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
All right, so make it quick.
Yeah, so about Topleads and why I joined Topleads. So I told you I had the thought of building my own company, but the thing is, I was really frustrated at my current job. It's everyday routine life, and it didn't much suit my personality. My personality is different than the people who work from 8 to 5, do their job and go home, take care of the family. That's something different. I want to try to do stuff. I'm the person who takes risks, even though some risks could break me to the ground, I don't care.
Yep,
I have
yep.
a reserve in crypto, so I'm good. But anyway,
You're
I'm
good,
the
man.
person even though if I didn't have that crypto, I would actually join
Okay.
and try to make the best out of it, because I'm feeling the feeling of doing achievements and not working at a routine work every day. That's the feeling everyone is going at, you know?
Yeah. And you achieved a whole lot already at Topleads. And yes, I can tell you that you're someone special, and Topleads or not, you're gonna go like really far in your life. So like what plans you have for Topleads?
So first of all, we want to make sure that our basic business model is working
Yeah.
and we are generating the results we need for our clients.
Mhm.
After that, we could reach the point of having over 1,000 clients, as I have did some research on other companies,
Mhm.
and a huge customer base, a huge lead generation base.
Yeah.
Some people are generating 500 leads per day
Yep.
for
Easy.
clients and all that.
Mhm.
That's the point we want to reach. If we reach that point, we would be killing it in the market. And to add to that, Top Leads business will never stop,
Yeah.
because there's always new companies coming up and they want customers.
Yep.
And in the digital world, it's all, easy to get customers in this era, let's say. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I imagine Top Leads business is going to continue forever right now. Like, it's not going to be affected by anything.
Correct.
It's not a business that the technology will end it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you hit your next meeting. Thanks for having this interview with me, buddy. It's been entertaining, and
No worries.
I'm honored to work with you on a daily basis.
I'm honored to work with you too.
All right.
Already learned a lot from you, actually. Peace.
I've learned a whole lot from you too. Bye bye.